my dear free viewers. We are now going to make a tutorial on how I draw bodies. Like a bunch can tell you about it. This is like what I've taken from the Chibi Choi stream. Like I've taken a Chibi Choi art class, and this is basically how we learned it there. Like a lot of anatomy. It's not all of it, and I'm definitely gonna have to retake the course. I still have access to it, but the basics is just observe and draw. Kind of sounds stupid, but observing and drawing is like the most important thing about this. Like, you see how the body is shaped? Like the upper body kind of goes upwards and the lower body kind of goes downwards. Don't look too close here. And you have like general S-curve of the spine. There's a bunch I can tell you about that. Like a lot of it is observing and how you approach this. So it's like learn your anatomy, observe a lot. Like where you can see the muscles. Like right here, I'm gonna make a new layer and like circle it for you. You can really see here the muscles. Like this general form. You can see that really well here. Also like the lines. There's a lot of natural lines you can just see on the body. That you can just like find some anatomy pictures of some naked or half naked people and just follow the lines. Just trace the lines to get a feeling for where those lines are. And you will learn so much from it. And then you can just compare it to like some anatomy book and see like, oh yeah, I can see these muscles pretty well. Like the abs. Everyone knows the abs. They're here. And like this long one. You don't even have to learn the names. I suck at learning names. So I don't really pay much attention to that. Like Latissimo Dorsey, that is actually one name I remember. Because it's kind of weird. Also like the trapezius, sternum muscles. This is for me, this one, I just remember it as a titty muscle. And everyone knows the abs, obviously. But you don't have to learn the names. Like, obviously, yeah, that's probably the biceps. But as long as you kind of have a visual picture in your eye of where one muscle is and kind of just the basics, that these are like contracting when you move them. Like, that sounds weird. Don't take this word by word. Touch yourself. No, actually literally touch yourself. When you're moving your body, how your muscles move. Like when you extend your arm, you will feel how the biceps move. You will feel how the shoulder moves. Like even the neck, when you lift your shoulders, you will just feel how all that moves. Same thing here. Like on the rest of the body. This one is really simplified because it helps you like get a feeling for it. Like this is how I traced everything. This one is traced. Like get a feeling for how far away. You have these shoulders. There is a dip in the shoulder. And it's about the same width apart from like here, the hip bones, the hip dips. It's about the same width apart. And then you just draw it from by feeling. And this is about the same width apart. It's like, I'm not a master at anatomy. I barely think anyone is. Like, obviously, like, Chibi Choi. This is from her course. She knows anatomy really well. And this is what I've learned from her course. But in the end, I'm not perfect. I'm just doing my best. And, like, if it feels right, it probably is somewhat right. It's also, like, every now and then I make, like, an anatomy practice like that. Like, this is just a folder of a bunch of anatomy figures that I've all censored out to not get banned. Even though this is purely informational here. This just like those are like 3-minute exercises where you just trace anatomy, and this can help so much. Like it might seem stupid, just like, yeah, if I'm not gonna do anything with that, I might not have to, but it helps so much. This is also like from the first time I've made this course, and it already looked way worse. Like you can see the difference from what I've just shown you to this one. This is the first time I've made this course, and it was discouraging because I couldn't really follow. My anatomy was off. It looks kind of wonky. It looks kind of weird. What else? Like this one was lighted shadow. But we'll get to that at some other point. But the main reason someone brought this up was because they saw one of my adaptables. This one. I'm using a base, actually. This has a base. Okay, great. I also made this base myself. It is also not perfect. It just kind of looks anatomically correct. But I can show you how I start with like a body. Like you might have seen some of my attacks. There are some full body attacks on there, like this one. Like he's standing. It looks about right? But like if you're a total beginner, let's assume like a total beginner and you're trying to draw a body, you probably won't go the same way I do when drawing a body, because I really just start with my head and then build the body up down. For a total beginner that has like no muscle memory in drawing anatomy, this might not be helpful at all. So what you want to do is like make a straight line and then make sections. This also like takes kind of a trained eye, but like you want to go by the rule of 8. Like this is 4 sections. They are also not perfect yet, but for like realistic drawings you go with the rule of 8. This is something my art teachers told me a lot, actually at university. And it's like you have one for the head, one for the neck, and in the mid you have like the navel. This is the crotch here, and this is where the feet are standing. That's like kind of the most important thing that you kind of want to go by, and then you just build up. It's like it might look a bit wonky. You can just fix it to fit your art style. Also, like, yeah, I drew this really wonky. It's also like not a technique I like to do because it's not how I learned it. It is just what my teacher keeps preaching, basically. And it can help a lot if you don't have a perspective for anatomy. Like my anatomy probably would be much better if I started doing this right at the beginning. Like also this body looks really stiff because it's just like standing straight there. Right? So like it is one way you can approach this. Also you need to pay attention to the curves of the bodies. Like you want to know where the muscles are. Like if you make a female, you have a more accentuated curves. Like here the waist, this is like super exaggerated, but the waist goes kind of more inwards. Also like the hip dip is more visible because you'll have like there's a bone. This here you have the hip here, and there is a bone. I keep forgetting the name of that, and as I said, it's not important to know the names of things. I suck at remembering names. But that there is a bone that actually causes the hip dip. It's totally natural and it's totally cute. It's pretty. Just remember that. But yeah, this looks like shit because that's not how I do it. What I do is I find a random pose. Hello Hatsune Miku, why ever you keep popping up because I searched for you once. Like, honestly, Pinterest is not the best source anymore because it's full of AI. But if you have like real people or something you obviously see that isn't AI, like that isn't AI. It's like a lot of AI art down there. But I prefer to use like real people for that. I also have like those in my references folder. Okay, let's quickly find a real person that is full body on here. Okay, this for example. What you can do is like scale your canvas to have like the full body on there, and then you just estimate where each body part is. Like, okay, this is the head. So something like this is the head. The shoulder is about just above the chin. This is how I build up. Then we make another line for like, yeah, just something like this. And the elbow, just a little bit above. If it doesn't work, you just circle it and you move it around until it feels right. The other hand, it kind of is on one line here. It's like this hand, where this hand ends is on a line where this hand starts. And I need to make the head a bit bigger to fit my style better. Also, these hands are a bit big, so I'm gonna scale them down later. This one has a bit of foreshortening because this hand is more in front. It's also just an estimation, it just needs to fit the vibe. Like kind of the pose I want to go for. Like of the chest kind of looks that way. It's also hard to see because there is a lot of fabric on this model, so it's not the best idea. What you want to do is when you go online, there's like drawingref.com, which can be a huge help, especially if you like wanting to stylise animals, like the red panda here or just a normal panda. That can be a huge help. Quick Pose though is kind of the best source for this, I would say. It's one of my favorite sources. And this is also what I use when I make these 30 seconds to 3 minute exercises. It's like, please be seated. For example, this one is on 60 seconds right now. And yeah, you see like all the features here. And you just start sketching, just get a feel for it. Make sure you get the curves right. Like, the body isn't stiff. You want it to be round. Don't go with straight lines. The human body does not have straight lines. I think that is something you need to realize at that point. Like, it should be obvious. Like, this might look kind of like a straight line, but it's not. It's curved. It is slightly curved. Like, not much, and you might just simplify it in your head. Like, yeah, that is a straight line, but it's not. And to make it look more dynamic, you should really keep that in mind. The human body does not do straight lines. And then we have the next pose. And like that's it. That's just how you get into drawing these. I like doing things like starting with 10 minutes, going down to 5, going down to 3, and then post just some 10-second doodles. Like, yeah. If we finish that pose, yeah. Also, like here, this is a really nice curve. It's thicker up top. You can really see well on the leg. Like, you wanna draw standing one-dimensional bodies in the beginning when you start doing something like this. just getting used to human anatomy. So also the face looks kind of off. And then you just keep building from there. Like this is far from perfect. This is not what it's supposed to look like at all. But it kind of looks like a human body, and it just fits my style. And you'll get better the more you do this. This goes without saying. That's just something that comes with practice. With practice comes progress. Also, like, something that is something you should always remember is practice does not make perfect. There is no such thing as perfect in whatever you do. That is like a really toxic mindset, that you can achieve perfect, that someone is perfect at art, like especially art. That is not something you should aim for. Because especially since art is subjective, you will not achieve perfect. There is no such thing as perfect art. It's like good looking art, there's great art, but there is no perfect art. Perfect can be different for everyone. So you just aim for practice makes progress. And what I do every year is drawing the same piece of art. And I call this my Alice in Wonderland day, because I draw every year one Alice in Wonderland picture. Where is it? Wait, when did I make that? 22nd. I didn't finish it 22nd though. Alright, I just airdropped it, probably. Didn't save it on my iPad. Like, my Alice in Wonderland piece. I do one every year and I print them and sell them. This one is my 2024 piece. It kind of encapsulates how my art style is right now. That I really like using intense light and glitter and messy lines. Also, the bottle looks really good, but you can't see it much, unfortunately. But I should also have like the 2023 version here right now. Yeah. I was drawing completely different. And it's just, it is part of progress. You will see progress. Also, body looks, the shoes. I've gotten so much better at drawing feet, which is weird, and hands. Perhaps I also have 2022 here. Oh, yes, I do. Nope, not you, Killjoy. And I've broke it. Right. And it's completely different again. Like, what the fuck is the background? That's progress. Also, my body's gotten better and better. And you can really see that because, like, when did I do that TBCHI course? I think, was it last year? It was sometime last year. And you can just see how much I've improved at drawing bodies. That was like the main thing in that course. I was drawing basics. And I'm super happy to share that knowledge. But yeah. This kind of is my video on how to draw human bodies.